We'll call you extra.
Chris. And they call you
ever boil water. To enter this place, you know they feel the heat.
The chagi hanging again. Then go find you. They know see. You won't beat me.
Stay away from me. Stop.
Before I blink my eyes, both of you should get your ass out of my property now.
I know they feel you. I know they fear you. I know they feel you. I know they see you. Yeah? If I dress like Tom and Jerry, dress like for the Christmas, I know they see you. Yeah? This time and era, now you wanna go carry girls, confine them, even small children, pedophile, you talk fire. Walk. Now, Yaro, put your mouth on. Are you talking to me like that? Okay. Catch it. Put your mouth on. Shit, don't stop.
Do what you want to because I don't know. Yeah.
Hi Good Life family, what's good and welcome welcome back to the YouTube channel. Welcome to a new video. I make awesome movie reviews here, so if you're stopping by for the very first time and you're not subscribed to the channel, please click on the subscribe button to get subscribed to the channel and join the family. Today I'm going to be reviewing the movie A Lady and Her Gentleman, currently showing on Uche Montana TV here on YouTube. This movie was produced by Uche Montana herself and it's a very interesting one. This movie follows the story of Esther, also known as Extra in this movie, who is a young woman from a very dysfunctional family and background. The movie shows us how, as a result of her father's mistakes, she was taken away from her family and used for prostitution for a great number of years of her life. This movie gives an insight on the kind of things that happen in the lives of young women who come from a rough place, and just gives us an insight on how some of the women we see here, or some of the young women we see in the world today who are into prostitution, may or may not have had any other options in their life and had to settle for prostitution. I love the insightfulness of this particular movie and how it helps us to understand that not everybody that you see doing something that you consider to not be morally upright had a choice or had an option to choose between that and something else. The notable faces in this particular movie are the gorgeous Uche Montana herself, the cute and really talented Clinton Joshua, and of course some other very talented actors like Shim and of course others. Clinton Joshua plays the role of a character named Sean, who meets and falls in love with Esther, or Extra, in this particular movie. He meets her at a club one day and sparks begin to fly, and he realized that he has fallen for this woman and was willing to do any and everything within his power to drag her out of the dark life that she had lived, regardless of her past. Shim played the role of the child Esther, and then we have other characters like Lady D and Mr. Jagger. Lady D in this movie plays the role of a female pimp who takes young female children and uses them for prostitution and pimps them to big men in society like rich men, politicians, and what have you. Mr. Jagger, on the other hand, is the creditor of Esther's father, or Extra's father in this particular movie, who came and, as a result of the debt owed to him by Extra's dad, took Esther away at a very young age and took her to Lady D, who is a pimp, to prostitute for her and pay him his money in return. The impression that we have of Mr. Jagger in this movie is that he is a very dangerous man and everybody knows better than to mess with him. And same goes for Lady D. My highlight character in this particular movie has to be Jason. The actor that played the role of Jason, he's a very talented one. I love the amount of life, light, and laughter that he brought into this movie. I love his energy. I love the kind of vibes that he brought into this movie, and I think that he nailed his role effortlessly. And I think that Uche Montana and Clinton Joshua did commendably well in nailing their roles. I love the flow of chemistry between Clinton Joshua and Uche Montana. They looked so beautiful together. They performed so well together. I have issues with the actor that played the role of Jagger in this movie, mainly because, number one, I feel like he doesn't have the aura that was required for the particular role that he was given. In this movie, we're made to believe that Mr. Jagger is a very scary, dangerous man from the dark side that is into a lot of shady businesses, and he's generally a bad man, so that means he's supposed to be feared. One thing about Mr. Jagger, I don't know if it's the way he looked, the outfit he was putting on, or the clothes they stuffed into his belly to make him look like he had a pot belly, one of those things though, but I don't know exactly what. But I just feel like he did not embody the personality that was required for this particular role. He was supposed to be a scary, dangerous man. He neither looked scary nor did he look dangerous. He just looked like a random man. He could easily have passed for somebody's father. Next, I don't also like the way Lady D was in this movie, in as much as the actress herself did a commendable job in portraying this particular role of Lady D in this movie. There was something with the way she was being treated. The fact that there was little to no respect given to her by the girls she was pimping was really, really questionable, because they made us believe that she's supposed to be a bad woman and she's supposed to be feared by these girls. The way Lisa, who was Esther's friend in this movie, found it so easy to stand up to Lady D, not once, I think she did it like 2 or 3 times in this particular movie. It makes me wonder if she is as bad as the movie intended for her to be, because she was just giving a regular woman. I mean, if you're a pimp and you're the madam of a brothel, I feel like the girls should have some kind of fear and respect towards her, right? Because, you know, they've been with her since their childhood. But then, what do I know? I love this movie. I felt like the movie was interesting to some extent. Although I just feel like the energy they started the movie with spiraled downwards towards the ending part, where they were doing the whole thing where Esther was finally rescued and taken away from the brothel. That part was really very questionable for me. And aside from that, the beginning part of the movie where Jason and his friend cashed out some huge amount of money was also really questionable for me, but that one is by the way. The ending part where Jason and Sean came to rescue the girls from the brothel, it really made zero sense to me, because that is supposed to be like some kind of underground prostitution brothel kind of place, where, considering that Jega was the owner of the property and he was in charge of that particular building and everything that happened inside of it, wasn't there supposed to be like some kind of top security? And how can 2 young boys without arms or anything just come impromptu and just come and create a scene and then take away their highest paying prostitutes from the brothel, and they were just busy shouting and acting drama, and the next thing, Jason is breaking a bottle and then Mr. Jega is running. I thought he's supposed to be scary and dangerous, and he was one calling out for his boys and nobody showed up. Where were his security guards? Where were his thugs? It just made zero sense to me, and I just felt like that part where they came to rescue Esther, it made little to no sense, and it fell short of my expectations for what they would have faced, considering the kind of impression that they gave us about this place. And also the scene where the friend was narrating all the things that had been happening. It was just crazy, because aren't they supposed to be scared of the people that run this place? How was it that the friend was so comfortable to just come and be shouting in the whole compound and talking and narrating every single thing that had happened, and her madam shows up and then they start fighting? Like, I just felt like those things were questionable, and that's just in my own opinion. But anyway, I guess it's what it is. All of that being said, I guess that brings us to the end of this particular movie review. And in general, and for a general rating, I'll give the movie a 5 over 10, simply because I felt like the story that was portrayed here had so much potential, and they didn't milk the story enough to bring out all that the story had to give. And aside from that, I felt like the story they carried was too big for them, and they failed in executing it as was expected. But other than that, I think they did commendably well. And gladly, we've come to the end of this particular movie review. If you're still here watching up until this point, please don't forget to click on the subscribe button and join the family before you leave. Click on the bell icon that pops up after you subscribe to get notified whenever I put out new content like this. And all of that being said, thank you so very much for stopping by, and I love you all dearly. Bye.